Grayson Report. Happy Saturday. What's up? I wanted to make it echo, but it didn't come out that way. What's up, Rochelle, Sabrina, Bernadette, Delia Lux, Allison, Nikki Bella, Christy Fox, Aileen, Angel, Kimberly Martin, Water Dragon. What's up? How is everyone doing? Did anyone do anything interesting today? Did anyone see any cool movies? I know that the news is full of the Haunted Mansion, about the top hat ghost or whatever the heck they were talking about, because that's in the news practically. Shiloh Toto, what's up? That they dropped the Saw 10 trailer I saw today. Brandon, Tammy. I know there's what else was there? There was another movie that people said to see that was better. That was scary. I forgot the name of it. I was gonna look it up before I came on here, but there's another movie that they say, a haunted movie that they say is very good. They go, if you want to get scared, watch this instead of the Haunted Mansion. Water Dragon wants to see The Sound of Freedom, but don't know where it's available. Usually what I do is I Google it, and it usually tells me where to look for it. Angel can't wait for the new Exorcist movie. Daisy, what's up? Christy had spooky laundry to do. Yes, that I did mine earlier. Water Dragon, that the Pope's Exorcist is on my list. I have to see where it's streaming, if it's streaming yet. Well, I know it's streaming, but I don't know if it's any on if it's on like HBO, or I don't know if it's on one of those yet. But I heard that one was good as well, and I need to catch that one. Michael Nothing, what's up? But like I said, the news is full of the Haunted Mansion. It's like every headline. The Top Hat Ghost. See where I think it's called the Top Hat Ghost. I don't even because I was like, I want some real stuff. What is this? Hatbox Ghost. Daniel. Oh, pretty cool. Oh, that's kind of cool, Daniel. Water Dragon saying, I thought the Haunted Mansion was a comedy horror. I don't know because I didn't even watch the trailer. I liked the ride, but I wasn't like into a movie about it, so I never really looked at the trailer. But I've read some things about it. Oh, I hope he's okay. Gunner girl. Sorry to hear that. I hope he's okay. I really do, Gunner girl. I'll keep him in my prayers for sure. Logical Spock, what's up? I worked today as I usually do on a Saturday. Did not beat the heat because it's still hot. I was hoping it would be cooler today, but nope. Christy Fox finally watched Terrifier 2. Wow, Gunner Girl. That wow. No, I really do, Gunner Girl. I really hope, guys, hearts for Gunner Girl. I really hope he'll be okay. I'll definitely have him in my prayers for sure. Spirit of the Trees, what's up? Jules, Christy, while I was saying I finally watched Terrifier 2 because of your poster, Lisa. I actually got him on my shirt today, which is kind of ironic. Christy, what did you think of Terrifier 2? I Christy loved it. I rewatched it and I kind of rewatched it with Lewis because he had never seen it, and I kind of revamped it for me because the first time I saw it, the first two, I kind of was like, oh, okay, that's all. But the second time, oh my god, this is so cool. So now I'm like obsessed with Art the Clown. And he was at Mad Monster, and now I'm kind of wishing I got a photo op with him because now I'm like obsessed. But that's okay. That's always next time. Is the Haunted Mansion out? Oh yeah, it came out yesterday. Duh. I was gonna say, did anyone see the Haunted Mansion? Jules is obsessed with Peter. Bernadette saying for some reason that clown doesn't scare me. It's only circus clowns evil. It's weird though, but this one should because he's the tall, lengthy, silent type. Bernadette. Daisy's gonna go see it Tuesday. Bernadette goes, he's cool. He is cool. He's a cool clown. Come on. With his garbage bag of tricks. It's weird when we went to Comic-Con last week, there were actually people cosplaying Terrifier and they had his garbage bag of tricks, and I thought that was kind of cool. And some guy just out of nowhere, he's like, "Oh my god, that's so cool. Can I take a picture with you guys?" Anybody else watch anything interesting this today or this weekend? I basically, what did I watch? I watched Eli Roth's A Ghost Ruined My Life, and yeah, that's the name of the show. Gunner Girl's asking, isn't there another Scream coming out? I think there is. I know, is there? That one I have to look up. That one I have to look up, and I'll get back with you, Gunner Girl. I don't know. I think there is. Rochelle says the fall series. Water Dragon says Lost Girls movie on Netflix is about the list. It was good. Spirit of the Trees watched the UFO hearing. Bernadette's been rewatching What We Do in the Shadows. Daisy saying the clone of Tyrone was crazy. I saw that. I saw the like the little trailer for it for that one, Daisy. It looked crazy. I still need to catch up on The Witcher because the second half finally dropped. Because I know this is the last time I'm gonna watch it. Because I don't think I'm gonna watch it with what's his face. And then I noticed that the Saw 10 trailer dropped, so I watched that. And Billy was in it, and I was like, it takes place in between Saw 1 and 2, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Daisy said I also binge watched The Witcher. I need to catch up. I think I'm still on 4, episode 4. Bernadette's like, I know, Henry, no. I agree. We're going to be like with this guy. It's going to be Geralt with broad shoulders to a guy that looks like this. Billy's the puppet in Saw. Let me see if I can pull up a picture. That's Billy. And he's the one I want from Trick or Treat Studios. So one of these years, that's one on my bucket list right there. I mean, they don't sell the trike, but I want to get a trike to put them on. Water, yeah, it's the dude on the trike. Panda Bear saying Henry Cavill will be missed for sure. He even sounds like the character in the video game for anyone who's played the video game. I played the third one. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, he looks like him too from the video game." Water Dragon goes, "I didn't know he had a name." Yes, he does. Jin, what's up? He is so cool. I think the last time I checked, Trick or Treat Studios had it on pre-order, and I was like, Bernadette saying I'm gonna miss the bathtub scene. Water Dragon was thinking Billy from Stranger Things. And then I know with the strike now, like everything's gonna be pushed back, so that kind of you and I care. What's up? Delia Lux is saying Henry Cavill has a lookalike who may take it, but miss him more. No, it's Liam Hemsworth or whatever his name is that's taking over. A Hemsworth, but the much slimmer Hemsworth. I feel like compared to Henry Cavill, he's like I know he's probably gonna bulk up for the role, but still, I don't think he could get the same build. He does not see me. He's like on the smaller side of his brothers. So I don't know. I mean, I'll probably watch one episode just to see how it goes, and then that's probably about it. Just to say, all right, I watched it. But I know a lot of people are just dropping it. Like no one there. I see posts all the time on Facebook going, no one can replace him. Water Dragon saying Celtic Iron looks a lot like Christopher Reeves. Oh, I'll have to check him out. Yay, Daisy, have fun. That sounds so fun. Daisy, real quick, what kind of music are they playing? Is it like an all? Is it like all kinds, or is it like a certain like house? Or real quick before you go, inquiring minds want to know. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, the first 4 episodes that I saw of The Witcher, of this season, I liked, but I'm behind. I gotta play catch up. So what I have in store, like I said, there wasn't much to do with Ghost in the news because everything that popped up had to do with the haunted mansion. And I was like, I don't want stuff about the haunted mansion. I want something. Jules finished was able to binge watch it today and finish it. So I found this little article. I thought you guys would get a laugh out of it because I really got a laugh out of it. Um can you imagine that someone actually married a ghost and then divorced said ghost? And I just want to share it because I was like, what? And this is from All That's Interesting. And it was posted yesterday. Oh no, 2 days ago. And it says English singer divorces the ghost of a Victorian soldier she married a year ago, who she alleges had an affair with Marilyn Monroe. Don't ask me, but I wanted to share this because this I couldn't believe what I was reading. So, would you guys ever think about marrying a ghost? Water Dragon is, why did she divorce the ghost? I don't know. We're gonna find out in a minute here. Christy's like, what? That's what I was thinking. I saw, I saw this and I was like, someone actually married a ghost. Jen saying, was he inattentive? Well, apparently, I guess he had an affair with Marilyn Monroe. Panda Bear, I saw that one too. There's a lady that married a pirate, ghost pirate. Yeah, Matthew, I saw that article. It was like in January, I believe. While I was looking for this one because I was trying to find this one, I found the pirate one. So here's the said person who married a ghost of a Victorian soldier. I don't know how they met. I'm trying to figure out how she met this Victorian soldier. Till Death Do Us Part took on a whole new meaning when an English performer and singer known as Brocard married the ghost of a Victorian soldier on Halloween 2022. Unfortunately, the union was not meant to be, and now the 40-year-old Oxfordshire native has announced her divorce from her late husband, literally, by means of exorcism. So, apparently, this said person, known as Brocardy, not sure how to pronounce it, as the Daily Mail reported, Brocard, I'm going to go with Brocard, claimed to have met her now. Oh my God, it tells us how they met. Her now ex husband, Eduardo, after he burst into her bedroom uninvited one dark, stormy night. I'm sorry. Can you imagine? So, so how'd you guys meet? He burst uninvited into my bedroom. Jin was like, I'd have an affair with Marilyn too. Jin's like, I need an exorcism from my ex too. A water dragon goes a dark and stormy night. Well, it is England, so I buy that. So it continues. Brocard, I apologize again if I'm butchering the name, said that she had trouble sleeping that evening as she was ruminating on an argument she had with a friend. She described the night as upsetting, noting that rain was lashing at the windows. Then, out of nowhere, she said she felt an intense burning. I don't know if I should be reading this. This sounds like it's getting into the rated R here. In her heart, which slowly spread outward throughout her whole body, making her tingle. Should I be reading? Before it passed down and out through her toes. I mean, there should be a disclaimer on here or something. What's up, Julissa? Michael said, unfortunately, not all demons can be exorcised. Matthew's like, hunka hunka burning love. Jen. I was compelled upright in bed, she said, forced into a sitting position. I reached back to turn on the bedside light, but my hand was forced back away. I tried again this time. I was able to pull the cord. I don't know. I feel like reading this like it's a romance novel. Sorry. Brocard then explained that she felt warmth on her neck as she heard someone whisper, I love you. With these words, she said the spirit departed and the room fell cold. Now alone in her room once again, Brocard said tears streamed down her face as she shook in her bed. Ozzy Walks, what's up? Jen saying you're making it worse. Sorry, Jen. After the initial encounter, the devilishly handsome Eduardo slowly revealed himself more to the singer. I hope this is rated PG. I saw his images as a Victorian soldier. He was always in his uniform, even on our wedding day. His face is devilishly handsome, shoulder length, unruly hair. He looks lived in, well worn, troubled almost. There's a pain attached to his being, she said. His voice is commanding and forceful, yet he whispers to seduce. The seduction evidently proved successful as the two supposedly married on October 31st, 2022. A video of which was shared on the singer's Instagram. I don't want to. I don't even want to go there. Bernadette. So, however, shortly after the union, Brocard claimed the spirit began to show increasingly possessive tendency. She alleged that he would bounce between acting in a threatening way and being warm and intense. Well, he's a ghost. What do you expect? Our relationship had always been turbulent from the beginning, with the stark contrast of him being threatening and possessive and then warm and intense. But I slowly began to tire of being married to a free spirit, she said. He was inconsistent, barely present. Their relationship continued to fall apart as Brocard claimed Eduardo became obsessed with the late actress Marilyn Monroe. The Victorian soldier allegedly first saw Monroe in the chapel of the day of his wedding to Brocard, and soon his unsettling fascination with her took hold. All right, he was like, Water Dragon 50 Shades of Sheets. Daisy is saying literally a free spirit. Panda Bear saying is the ghost being spicy. And so this is, we all know who Marilyn Monroe is. So I guess he saw a picture of Marilyn Monroe on their wedding night and he became smitten. He was like, forget you, girl. I'm going after this one. It didn't take long, apparently, for Eduardo to be unfaithful. After his first brush with Monroe, Brocard said that he would disappear for days on end and reappear smelling of Chanel number 5, Monroe's signature perfume scent. All right. The singer explained that the scent would fill the room when Eduardo returned, but this wasn't Brocard's only issue with her ghostly husband. She also expressed a frustration with how drunk Eduardo got on their honeymoon to Barry Island, Wales. Barry Island, Wales. Eduardo obviously doesn't have a bank card, so it is always me that has to pick up the tab everywhere we visit. Brocard said, according to the New York Post, and he certainly likes to go wild in our hotel room mini bars. Unsure of what to do, Brocard visited a psychic and discussed how best to assert her boundaries. I came to the conclusion that the journey with Eduardo had no positive conclusion as an energy was dragging me down, the singer said. There was no breakup conversation. I consulted a psychic medium and to help me assert my boundaries over Eduardo and to try to tame him, but it didn't work. So is the psychic like her therapist? Bernadette's like, you can wear perfume in the afterlife. Julissa's like, oh, Eduardo. Matthew's saying high spirits. The psychic consultation upset Eduardo as well, and shortly after he grew increasingly more aggressive and nasty and began to haunt me with the sound of screaming babies. Brocard said. Brocard said again that this was the final nail in the proverbial coffin, and she returned to the chapel in which they exchanged vows. This time, however, her goal was to exorcise the spirit. The singer claimed that the exorcism was successful. After hours, he was finally purged from my system, she said. I felt light and free and excited to be released of his troubled spirit. Following the exorcism divorce, Brocard said her life feels more light and joyful. I'm quite adamant that I no longer want to be haunted by Eduardo, so his presence isn't welcomed in my life, she said. Details of their divorce were also used as the basis for the singer's new song, Just Another Anthem. So, what do you guys? What do you guys think? Gene Rick saying I have a great scary story voice. Thank you. Water. Michael Nothing says everybody smells good in the afterlife. I had to share it. I saw it. Thank you, Gunner Girl. I saw this and I was like, what? I have to share this with you guys. And I know there's another lady that married a pirate, but I didn't see her divorcing the pirate, so I'm assuming she's still married to her ghostly pirate. Bertie did say sexy ghost time with Grayson Report. I agree, Water Dragon. People be marrying all sorts of things lately. Somebody's probably going to come back and say, you pronounced her name wrong. Matthew's going spicy ghost report. Nerd report in the house. All right, guys, for my next article, did you guys know that Jessica Alba had a ghostly experience? Let's see if I can share it here. Nerd Report's asking if I did get the new chair. I did. It looks like my old one because I have hold on, let me go back. Let me remove this one. It looks like my old one because I have my blanket over it, but it is the new one. I have my red rum blanket covering it. That's why you can kind of see more on the sides because the other chair was wider, but this one's taller. I did, and so far my bum is not going numb. Nerd Report's asking, should I stream or work tomorrow? Guys, what do you think? Julissa, yes, so far my fanny is feeling much better. And this chair has back support. Like, it has like a little thing, so like, Brandon saying Frankenson stream. Michael Nothing saying stream. Jules is saying you could do both. Tammy saying stream. And also too, this chair has pretty good like I don't know what you call armrests. So far, so good. Tammy saying stream, Christy saying stream, Water Dragon saying stream and work at the same time. Now it's Julissa saying stream for your store, Angel saying stream. Manny is not strainy. Nerd Report saying, yeah, it does. Work has crap signal. It does. Daniel at Murder Report was asking everybody if he should work or if he should stream tomorrow. Christy, I was hoping she'd be in here, but she's not. But yet, at least. And then I was going to talk about Jessica Alba having a ghostly experience. Because I had to search through all the haunted mansion news. All right, Jessica Alba, and this is from Koimo, actually had like a paranormal experience, which I thought this was kind of cool. When Jessica Alba revealed a ghost took the covers off her and she couldn't even scream. I couldn't talk or do anything. Jessica Alba, in one of her early interviews, shared her experiences of a paranormal activity which left her terrified. Read on. There is no death of Hollywood celebrities who have experienced paranormal. What the heck is this? It's pop up. That better not pop up again. I hate those pesky pop ups. Matthew or Bernadette saying you need to get one of those butt massagers when you sit, Lisa. Feels good, just say. Matthew Jessica Alba would be a spicy ghost. Christy saying sounds like sleep paralysis, maybe. One of them is Jessica Alba, before it was roughly interrupted by the pop up, who in 2008 shared how she once got attacked by a ghost when she was 17. In one of her earlier interviews, Alba claimed that she could not scream, couldn't talk, and even couldn't get off the bed. Spooky, isn't it? Scroll down to know what really happened. The iStar added, this came out like recently too, but this is like old. That's an old movie. The iStar added, there was definitely something in my parents' old house, she added. I don't know what it was. I can't really explain it, but they got it blessed and they burned stage and stuff since then. Jessica Alba in 2000, I want to say 2018, 2008 was expecting her first child with Cash Warren. She, at the time, also spoke of her pregnancy, revealing how it had been playing havoc with her hormones. I think I've already thrown Cash out of the house twice since I've been pregnant, quiped Alba, adding, he's like, are you just pregnant? I hope you're just pregnant and acting crazy. And I'm like, it's has nothing to do with that. She added, and then we cried and we had, what does this have to do with this article? Like, what does that have to do with the price of tea in China? Like, Miss, whoever wrote this article, it says koimoy.com team. This part about her being pregnant has nothing to do with the headline. All right, I guess what happened, because they didn't write the article properly, I guess when she was living in her parents' house, there was an entity that scared the crap out of her. Wendy, what's up, Teresa? Water Dragon saying couldn't move or speak sounds like Alien Visits 2. Are aliens ghosts? Are ghost aliens? Julius is saying it is a strange story. It is. Because you're talking about Jessica Alba getting haunted, and then you go on about her being pregnant at the time and how she kicked her husband out several times because of pregnancy hormones. Who does that have to do with the article? Sorry, guys. Sometimes I don't read the articles before I go on there because I want to be. I kind of browse through them, but I don't really read them because I want to be like, I want to give first impressions on it when I read it. But yeah, that one, yeah. I don't like how they wrote that one. They need, whoever wrote that needs to. Water Dragon goes very clear. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's still entertaining because it still talked about her having an experience, but it should have stopped there, not go on about. Christy goes, yes, I love your genuine reactions. Thank you. Because I do like to give my first impressions when I'm I kind of do skim through some of them because some of them you have to because I'm like, oh, let me check the writing. But this one, I kind of just I didn't look for that because some people just don't know how to write an article or conclude the article, like give it a closing, like last remark type of thing. But still, an interesting article about. Teresa says it sounded like sleep paralysis. Apparently, they saged the house and everything. So, but it doesn't go in depth. Like, I guess it's from an interview she had a while ago, but it doesn't go into depth. Like, what was it? What she thought might have caused it? What did they find out that what caused it? So the next one, have any of you guys heard of the Jamaica Inn? It's in Cornwall. I did This is kind of weird. I didn't know what to talk about and the Jamaica Inn just popped up. And I was like, "Okay, I'm taking this as an omen." Shiloh Toto saying when I was young, very long time ago, there was a ghost movie that they did the same thing. The ghost kept stealing the blankets off the women. Oh, crazy. Water Dragon has never heard of the Jamaican Inn. I never did too. It just happened to pop up, so I was like, "What is this?" And I kind of took it as it was giving me a sign. So I had to talk about like some higher power was giving me a night was popping that was trying to grab my attention on it. So the Jamaica Inn, it's still in service. Let me share my screen here so you guys could see it. Let me move back up. This is from Higgy Pop, Paranormal News, Ghost Hunting, and Eerie Entertainment. It's in Bolventor, Cornwall. Jamaica Inn's Ghost and Hauntings, Haunted History. And it's a pretty decent sized building. It's historic, atmospheric, welcoming, and supposedly very haunted. The traditional coaching inn is set back from the busy A30 in Bolventor, overlooking Brown Willie, the highest point on Bodmin Moor. The paranormal activity includes the disembodied sounds of footsteps throughout the building, unexplained tapping, the sound of children playing and babies crying, and most famously, the sound of horses and carts moving in the courtyard, as well as countless reports of dark, shadowy figures and ghostly apparitions. Does it show more pictures? Let me see. I did make it like big. Well, anyways, this is like an aerial view of it. Of the Here is what it looks like. It looks like a quaint little like it looks like a cool place to stay. What do you guys think? Wendy, thank you for the super chat. Love you, Lisa. Hearts for Wendy, guys. Thank you. Bernadette's going brown. That's what I was when I read the names. I was like, huh? But this is like a quaint little cottage. It actually looks very inviting. I don't know why. I'm assuming this is like the courtyard. looks super cool. What it looks like at night. Very cool place. Then back to the aerial view. Wendy's like, I'd only stay there if I was there. Water Dragon says looks very nice on the outside. I know it looks pretty big. I agree with you, Water Dragon, from the aerial view. The Inn is now a popular tourist attraction, pub, and hotel, but has had a varied history, having been a hangout for smugglers and highwaymen, as well as being visited by countless people making their way across the moor. Its notoriety has led to a murder mystery novel in its name, written by Daphne Dumore and originally published in 1936. The book was adapted into a movie by Alfred Hitchcock. The oldest part of the two-story building dates back to 1750, but the end has been extended and added to over the years. It now has grade 2 listed status, whatever that means, 36 rooms, a large restaurant area, a museum, a gift shop, and farm store. The inn doesn't shy away from promoting its haunted reputation, which is kind of cool because I heard like some places like kind of stay away from it. They don't want that attention, but come on, that brings attention to your business, in turn keeping your business open. So it's kind of cool that they promote it. And few who visit the Jamaica Inn would be unaware of the claim that it is haunted. However, few would be able to retell the details of its hauntings, which seem to have been lost in myth and corrupted by folklore. Those with a passing interest will remember the inn being investigated by Yvette Fielding and Derek Akora in a 2004 episode of Most Haunted. Evidence of Derek and the Most Haunted team visit still remains in the hotel's reception. Guests are greeted with some rusty chains that were a significant part of the investigation. Have any of you guys seen that Most Haunted episode? I have never seen that Most Haunted episode. Project Metal Music has. Cool. What's up, Project Metal Music? Wendy saying I don't play with entities. Selena, what's up? A plaque above the chain reads the most haunted team from Sky TV came here and filmed one of their third series episodes where at Jamaica Inn. The room that you are now standing in was the old generator room. Although it was not mentioned in the program, Derek Acura said these chains were involved in an unscrupulous death many years ago. Gruesome as it might sound, we thought we would leave it here on display for you to see and touch. So these are the chains that were left behind by the most haunted team. The Thank you, Bernadette, for the PayPal for my spooky sister. Hearts for Bernadette. Thank you, Bernadette. You're awesome. And then my computer is popping up stuff. Hearts for Bernadette, guys! The strange thing about the hauntings in the inn is that the original part of the building only consisted of the bar and a handful of guest rooms. Yet the strange goings on aren't confined to the old part of the building. Staff and guests have reported ghostly happenings in the newer parts of the building, including the extension at the rear that was built in the 1980s, the more recently added kitchen, and the new block of rooms that opened in 2017. So well known are the stories of the hauntings at the inn that inside the wardrobe in room 5 you'll find a collection of toys and a folder of letters, all of which have been left by guests for Hannah, the ghost of the little girl who is said to have spent her last night in the room with her mother. There's no record of anyone called Hannah living in the inn, but the story says that she stayed in the room one night. The following day, they boarded a ship, a Falmouth, and were lost at sea. Guests in room 5 have also claimed to have been bothered by the sound of footsteps walking around the room and rattling noises coming from the bathroom. The room is said to be very unsettling for some who stay there. In fact, in recent years, a soldier fled from room 5 in the night, preferring to sleep in his car after an encounter. Whoa. One guest awoke to find the small, wet footprints of a child's feet on the room's carpet, and female guests have reported having their legs touched while in bed on many occasions, not to mention claims that Hannah's toys move around on their own. One of the most famous ghostly stories is that of the sound of a horse and metal wheel carts moving around on the courtyard. What makes this report unusual is that the witnesses say it sounded like the horses were moving on gravel. However, since the 1950s, the courtyard has been cobbled, but it was once gravel. This story is most likely nothing more than part of the folklore of the inn. There are no known recent reports of the disturbances from guests. And here is the view of the beautiful courtyard. This is such an awesome courtyard. I wouldn't mind hanging out here. Very picturesque. What do you guys think of this courtyard? It's super awesome. Wendy's saying what year? I think it said 1760. Water Dragon saying I'd hang out in the courtyard. Selena says it looks beautiful. Christy's like, let's go. But it's super beautiful. Like even the inn looks beautiful too. Another of the inn story, albeit an unsubstantiated one, revolves around a young man named Jack who was said to have been lured away from his drink and was murdered on the moor. Since then, Jack is believed to return to the inn in the form of a ghostly apparition seen sat in the corner of the main bar or leaning against the fireplace. A ghostly man seen sat by the fireplace has been witnessed as recently as 2018 by a well respected paranormal investigator during one of the inn's ghost hunting nights. The figure was described as having black curly hair, a white frilly shirt, black boots, and a tricorn hat. Some think that the ghostly figure of a man seen sitting outside the pub on the wall could also be the spirit of Jack. The figure was first reported in 1911. In one report, which featured in a newspaper, the man is described as being strangely dressed and ignored passerbyers' attempts to make conversation. A man of similar description has been seen all over the hotel, including one recent report of a sighting outside room 5 in 2016. Is this the murdered man, or are people confusing the stories of the notorious smuggler Jack Travelis? Some believe it's his spirit seen wearing a tricorn hat around the building. Also, in the main bar, there have been reports by staff of the telephone coming off the wall, glasses falling and smashing for seemingly no reason, and even the figure of a monk seen in the cellar behind the bar. That is a weird place to see a monk. The bar adjoins a smaller lounge known as the Snug and the inn's original bar, now known as Mary's Bar. In the area, female staff have reported having their hair pulled, and in the 50s, there was a sighting of a tall man, phantom, in a dark green cape. Whoa, that's crazy. Selena's like, I'll definitely go there. Wendy's like, I'll go with you. Water Dragon Ghost sounds like Prince. Was he wearing wee little boots? Wendy's asking, how do I feel about tarot cards? I have a deck or two, and I have used them. I have one of the decks I have is a wolf deck, of course, wolves. And then another one I haven't opened yet, but I do have another deck of tarot cards. Back upstairs in room 4, there have been reports of strange smells, the sound of muffled voices, sometimes in foreign languages, heavily booted footsteps, and sightings of a man standing by the side of the bed near the window watching those who sleep. The man is said to be dressed as a highwayman in green coat with a tricorn hat. That would be scary. Like if you were sleeping and am I good? I think I'm good because the lights came back on. Do we have audio, ladies and gentlemen? Now we hear you. I don't know what's going on, but and I have it hardwired into my laptop, but it disconnected. So I am not sure what's going on. I just literally all I have are my camera, my mouse, and the mic hooked up to my laptop. I literally bought a separate USB for all the other stuff because I thought that was causing it. And it did not help because it still came back. I am not sure what's going on. Bernadette saying it's your ghost again. It is. He doesn't want me to talk about the Jamaica Inn. I was like, what the heck? Shiloh Toto saying you're not supposed to buy your own tarot cards. They're supposed to be given to you. Oh, I did not know that. Actually, the second set was given to me. The first set I bought, but the second set was they were given to me. I didn't buy those. And those I have not opened yet, but Shiloh Toto, I did not know that. Daniel Miles is saying it's the ghost in the machine. I have no idea what's going on with that. I got to figure it out. It's probably a USB thing. And I have a fan on my laptop too, so it's not that. Bernadette saying I was given mine from a gypsy friend. Daniel saying, yep, USB power. I literally, like I was saying earlier, I literally just have three things hooked up to my USB. I took everything else off. I got a separate like USB that didn't require the computer and plugged everything else in. Selena's asking how your new chair. My bum is not going numb so far, and it has great back support, which is what I was hoping. It was super easy to put together, and it's like super comfortable so far. And it's got like a huge backrest, so like it prevents me from like doing this, which is what I didn't want. Sorry to hear, Teresa. I inherited a deck from my lifelong when she passed. Thinking about that tomorrow marks 5 years. Hearts for Teresa, guys. And she meant lifelong friend. All right, before the ghost rudely wanted to stop me from talking about the Jamaica Inn. So it says more recently, guests staying in this room have reported seeing the someone stood in one of the room's internal doorways. The reports vary, but some have described it as being a monk-like figure. In the adjacent room, 3 guests are said to have seen a woman with a crying baby. Others have reported hearing a baby crying, despite the fact that no baby is staying at the inn at the time. Some think she could be the ghost of a single woman named Mary Downing. In 1834, she sued the married landlord Thomas Dunn in order to make him recognize their illegitimate son. Adding to the room's sorrow, some have also reported hearing a crying woman believed to be Mary. So it's no wonder so many guests report feeling upset in the room. The ghost of a 10-year-old boy has also been seen at the end of the 4-poster bed. Scratching has been heard coming from the walls, and housekeeping staff are forever having to clean off the small fingerprints that keep appearing on room 3's mirror. Ooh, that's crazy. Room 6, another of the rooms in the older part of the inn, is also said to be paranormally active. An older couple staying in the room claimed that while they were in bed, the furniture in the room started shaking. The shadow cast by an unseen man has been spotted in the bathroom doorway. I agree, Michael. Nothing is creepier than a child's ghost. Bernadette saying, I was told you can buy them and have them blessed by a white witch. I have to look that up. I did not know about tarot cards. I'll have to look that up. I had no idea. Thanks, guys. Shiloh Toto says, yes, I asked my mother for a deck. They seem to be fine. Room 6, another of the rooms in the older part of the inn, is also said to be paranormally active. An older couple staying in the room claimed that while they were in bed, the furniture in the room started shaking. Oh, I think I read this one. Sorry, guys. The shadow cast by an unseen man had been spotted in the bathroom doorway, as I said previously. In the corridor, because I think I'm like, it's hot in here. It is, guys. In the corridor, the runs through the upstairs of the old part of the building, there have been many reports of unexplained footsteps. On one occasion, the heavy footsteps were heard by no less than 25 people in the bar below. The group were attending a paranormal night at the inn when the event's host went upstairs to try to find a source of the footsteps. They found that the motion sensitive lights in the hallway had not turned on, suggesting no one had been up there. Wow. Room 23, located in the newer wing of the hotel, also has its fair share of ghostly goings on. Here, a guest awoke in the night to see the vision of a woman dressed in the Victorian-style clothing standing in the room. Paranormal researchers investigating the room have witnessed knocks on the door and the patio door, but CCTV footage captured at the time showed no one anywhere near the room. Even the hotel's reception is said to be haunted by the ghostly apparition of a man in a cape seen walking past, and the front desk and down the corridor. Christy's like, wow, pretty good. Cool. How so many rooms have specific haunts? I know, that's what I was thinking. I was like, whoa, like they have specific hauntings in like a lot of the rooms. That's kind of cool. And then it's also in the newer part of the building too, that was built around the 1980s. So that's like what's crazy about it. A 1980s extension to the back of the building houses a restaurant, gift shops, and toilets. There's said to be paranormal activity throughout this area. Staff has seen a shadowy figure moving around the restaurant's kitchen and servery area and heard the sound of children giggling when the end is closed. That's kind of creepy. Like you'll be in the building by yourself, like cleaning up or whatever you might be before, closing up, and you hear ha 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 by a kid. Oh my gosh, that would bring the hair would stick up on my arms. A similar ghostly figure has been seen walking from the farm shop over to the adjacent gift shop. Could this be the phantom described as a big man with a cape who has also been spotted? There's also reports of a sighting of a young girl with blonde curly hair wearing a Victorian smock dress. She's been seen by staff at the end of the corridor to the side of the gift shop. Although relatively new, this corridor lies on what was once an outside walkway to the church. In the gift shop itself, toys and books are regularly found scattered on the floor by staff when opening up the gift shop in the morning. Staff have reported having their ponytails pulled and a female spirit have been seen. She's often described as wearing Victorian clothing. Her age varies from mid-30s to looking much older and haggard, but her hair is always described as being in a bun. That is kind of interesting. That is interesting. Like, her age varies from being like a young woman to a much older woman. That's trippy. Even the toilets to the side of the gift shops are said to be haunted. It's said that the ladies' toilet door regularly opens on its own, despite having a swing hinge, and in the men's toilet, the sound of arguing men have been heard when the room is completely empty. The first floor of the old stable block is now occupied by additional guest rooms. The ground floor houses a smuggler museum that boasts one of the finest collections of smuggling artifacts in the country. The museum is said to be haunted by a former stable boy named David, Tourists exploring the museum claim to have seen a model of an elephant on display in one of the cabinets move on its own. Oh wow, this is like a map. Oh, that's crazy. The car part, and then you've got your farm store, gift shop, restaurant, bar, smuggler's bar, office, and then you've got your rooms. And then the first floor, you've got, I've heard, what was it, 6, 4, and 3, they said were haunted. Wow, that's crazy. Bernadette saying, I don't mind spirits being around when I'm eating or in bed, but stay out when I'm on the toilet. Water Dragon saying kids' laughter and footsteps would be terrifying for sure. Wendy, we'll never go anyplace haunted unless we're there. Allison saying there's no way to get tarot cards. If you have a connection to a deck, it doesn't matter who bought them. Right now, I have 3 decks that I use. I have another that was my boyfriend's ex's. Teresa saying, I'm liking these stories. Thank you. Rochelle says that is the best free tarot I found online. Allison says, of the 3, I read that one. And Allison said also you can cleanse, bless a deck however feels natural to you. Selena saying, so far I've had good encounters with child spirits. That is super cool. Daniel saying, my new guest is going nuts with sounds from the rooms next to her. She thought I was messing with her, but I was in town all day. The ghost is becoming more active here. This will be 3 days in a row. That is super cool, Daniel. Teresa saying, my friend Angie used to do readings all the time with the deck I have. I don't know what it meant, but she used to find it interesting whenever she did one for the 2 of Cups and the Empress. Always showed up in my readings. Allison also says, I don't cleanse mine often, but I just put them in a window so they can be cleansed by the moon and sun, and I sage my house every once in a while, so they are included in that. Cool. Ghoulies and Ghosties from End on the Moor, History of Jamaica Inn by Rosemary Mullins. So is this like a separate? Oh, this must be like a separate, like, little thing. Jamaica Inn has its share of ghosts and is most certainly haunted by at least one man. Many years ago, a stranger stood at the old bar drinking his ale. He was called outside and departed, leaving his ale on the bar counter. He did not return, and the following morning, his murdered body was found out on the moor. The murder remained a total mystery, but in 1911 there was a great deal of interest and correspondence in the local press concerning a strange man seen by many people sitting on the wall outside the inn. He did not move or speak, even when spoken to, and his appearance was uncanny, like that of a murdered man. One of our main sources of information about the inn and its recent history is Reg Carthew, and more will be said to him later on in this book. Oh, it must be like an excerpt or something. In the 60 years that he has been associated with the inn, he has experienced many things. We asked him very seriously about the inn and the supposed hauntings, and he eventually told us that he truly does believe the inn to be haunted. He said that whenever he has to go to what was the old engine room to the back east end of the inn, that as he lifted his hand to the bolt, he always automatically looked over his shoulder, feeling someone was standing behind him. And that one day, Mr. Gross, who was manager of the inn in the early 50s, spoke to him hesitantly, asking with a somewhat sheepish look if he, Reg, had ever felt anything when he went to the engine room door. He seemed both relieved and apprehensive when Reg told of the sensation he always experienced there, and Mr. Gross, former household cavalry and no faint heart, shamefacedly admitted that he too sensed a presence. Shiloh saying, my mother had a reading that said I would break my leg. They told her not to tell me so that I would have no way forced it to happen because of belief. Then guess what, guys? I was swimming with my brothers and sisters one day. My brother pushed me in the pool. The side of my foot hit the side of the pool and spirals cracked all the way up. Bernadette saying, I had a reading when I was a teenager. She said I was going to have a boy and a girl and get married, but the marriage was not meant to be. And I'd find a love of my life later in life. That all came true. That is crazy. She said, still waiting on the love of my life. But you got married. That's crazy, though. So definitely the love of your life is coming your way, Bernadette. Daniel saying, I do believe there's more than one ghost built in 1956. That would be pretty cool, Teresa, just to see. Sabrina saying, I did my life chart years ago. Bernadette saying, when Johnny Depp's coming through. Coming, though. Mr. Palmer, one of the owners of the inn after the war, the only one ever to live there with his family, also saw ghosts. The family frequently heard footsteps on the stairs when there was no one about, and one evening, as Reg and Mr. Palmer were seated on two settles in the old stockroom by a fire which was refusing to burn about to each light. Burn? This seems like a whole-on, run-on sentence. To burn about to each light up a cigarette and talking together. Mr. Palmer, with a muttered curse, suddenly leaped to his feet, his cigarette and lighter falling to the floor, and shot across the room toward the outer door as Reg watched in amazement. When he returned, he furiously asked if Reg had seen where the man had gone, but Reg had seen no one. When Reg stayed in the inn, as he often has done over the years, he used one of the bedrooms over the Josh Merlin bar in the part of the building that had been added on to the inn in 1788. The only toilets then in the inn were at the far western end of the passage downstairs, and whenever he had to leave his room and cross over into the older part of the inn, night or day, he would experience a feeling of penetrating coldness, chilling his body to the bone. Mr. and Mrs. Duffy, managers in the 60s, also reported hearing footsteps going up the back stairs. In more recent times, one of the cooks who has worked for many years at the inn was waiting on the managers who were having their lunch in the stable bar, which leads into the restaurant. The place was empty apart from themselves, but she saw a ghost. She saw a green cloaked man come through from the restaurant and go out toward reception. Puzzled, she asked the manager who the man was. He replied in astonishment, "What man?" "The one who has just come out of the restaurant," she answered. The manager stared at her. "The restaurant door is locked," he said, and so it was. Two of the witnesses a few years ago were also frightened by the unexplained happenings in the restaurant. Having finished laying up for breakfast one evening, laying up for breakfast. I like how they put that. Laying up for breakfast one evening, long after the diners had all left, one of them returned to check that she had put clean ashtrays round, only to find that she had, but the one of them contained a smoldering cigarette. The following evening, she could again smell cigarette smoke after the restaurant had been cleaned and tidied, and called her colleagues to see if she too could smell anything. They not only both smelled the cigarette, but saw a spiral of smoke rising from nowhere. In early December of 1996, my husband and I had to call a plumber in to replace the pump on our backseat boiler central heating system. He was very talkative, and my husband mentioned to him that I was in the dining room working on this book and had reached the chapter on ghosts. The man told us both that he had worked several times in the 60s at the inn, going up into the loft to work on piping and the two large water tanks which were up there. "I never saw anything," he said, "but I always remembered that I used to make my way over to the tanks and look back longingly to the trap door. I hated being up there and could not wait to get down. The tanks were to the east of the loft." I guess the Jamaica Inn has been voted 100 most haunted places in 2022, 21, 2020, 2019, and 2018. Here's the map. It's like in the middle of nowhere. So, what did you guys think about the Jamaica Inn? Thank you, Christy Fox, for gifting a membership, and welcome, Peg, to the Wolfpack. Hearts for Christy. Sorry, guys, I'm reading your comments. I just want to make sure I don't miss anybody. I like the Jamaica Inn. I would visit the Jamaica Inn because it seems like it's a beautiful building for sure. Regardless if it's on it or not, it's a very beautiful building. And I would not visit. I would not mind visit. I would not visit. I would not mind visiting it. It's like a quaint little cottage. Well, I mean, big cottage. Bernadette saying that was pretty cool. It was. Somebody wanted me to talk about it because it just popped out of nowhere. It was weird. So I took it as an omen. Well, I mean, not an omen because it's something good. So I took it as that. Somebody wanted me to talk about it. Wendy, thank you for the super sticker. It's a fitness pair giving me coffee. Hearts for Wendy. Thank you, Wendy. Sabrina saying it was cool. I thought it was cool. Hearing about a building that I normally don't hear about. Or I didn't know anything about. I've never heard of it, so it was kind of cool to read about it. Christy, you got some hearts. It was just delayed. Teresa's like the out in the middle of nowhere, the beginning of a lot of spooky movies. I know. Or like a farmhouse in the middle of nowhere. That's a good start of a several horror movies. But it looks like a nice area though too as well. Water Dragon goes Texas Chainsaw. That for sure. Wendy saying I've had my sheets pulled off of me. Oh, that's crazy. That's kind of scary though if you're sleeping and then your sheets. Well, mine always tend to fall off. I don't know. When I wake up in the morning everything's on the floor. Sabrina wants to go to the Fost Hotel in New Braunfels in Texas. I have never heard of that one. I'll have to check it out. Or I'll have to look it up because I've never heard of that one. The Fost Hotel? Oh, that looks like a cool place. Oh, wait a minute. You can book a room at the Jamaica Inn. Does it show you like hold on. Let me see. Just out of curiosity, because I always if it has a book it button, I always look. Don't ask me why. Let's see if I can share it. Alright, here's the Google search. I mean, it's got 4-star. It's a 4-star hotel. It's about. I mean, the cheapest is 74 a night. That's not bad at all. That is not bad at all for a quaint. But it's in the middle of nowhere. But it's not that bad at all. Michael, nothing has had sleep paralysis. Teresa's like Stanley Hotel for the win. Definitely, that is on my bucket list. Bernadette say keep the super chat train going, peeps. Choo choo. So if any of y'all want to join the super chat train, Jin, I don't know. I did not get to. I was kind of thinking that after I left. I was like, I didn't get to meet him. Oh, that's what I was wondering, Gene, if that was one of your. Oh, okay. I kind of got to meet him, but it wasn't like a formal. I was wondering if it was because he said my mom's a fan of yours. Gotcha. Ah, okay. Okay. Darn, I didn't get a picture with him if I knew that was him. Ah. Shiloh Toto loved this story. Water Dragon saying for a 4-star under 100 is very good. It is. Bernadette! She is continuing the super chat train. Choo choo! Hearts for Bernadette, guys. Thank you, Bernadette. No, that hotel in Texas actually looks kind of cool. Yeah, I was wondering. I kind of had a feeling, but I wasn't 100% sure, Jin. And I was kind of bummed because I wanted to meet him and take a picture. And when I was leaving, and I was like, and then I kind of thought, like a lot of these hotels that look haunted, they actually look like nice places to stay. Like I wouldn't mind staying at them, even if they are haunted. They look like really nice, beautiful, like, areas to stay. Daniel Miles is saying Highway 299 cuts across Northern California and is one of the spookiest routes in the state, if not the whole country. Here's place close to me. Cool. Teresa's saying hubby is listening in, and when he heard 4-star hotel, he quoted Supernatural 4-star hotel on a 2-star highway, the episode where all the gods were in a hotel created by Mercury. Oh, that's cool. You know what? To be honest with you, I never really watched Supernatural. I know it was on for a long time though. That's okay, Jin. I'm glad you're in the chat. Thank you, Tyrana, for continuing the super chat trade. Saying I love your awesome stories. Thank you, Tyrana. Hearts for Tyrana, guys. Thank you guys for the support. Water Dragon's asking, what's the creepiest thing to happen on Highway 299? Daniel. Teresa saying 15 seasons. I've watched it several times. For some odd reason, I never really watched it. I don't know why, which is weird. Daniel saying we have a lot going on here around me. Bigfoot, Mount Shasta, Natural Bridge. Daniel saying that's a story on a town in Old Shasta. Teresa recommends Supernatural for sure. Wendy's a huge Supernatural fan. I wonder if there's like a story. I can find anything on Highway 299. Highway 299. Oh, it talks about scenic Highway 299. Let's see. Hold on. Oh, there is. but I had to add haunted. Oh, that's crazy. I'm gonna have to do this on a. I am definitely gonna do that one on my next show. The 299 story, courtesy of Daniel Miles. I will dig into that one. That sounds interesting. Chris, what is up? It's definitely showing a bunch of. For sure, I am going to talk about this one. Or I'm going to delve into it. Daniel saying it's 30 miles from me. That is super cool. That way I can find like a really good article and delve into like the history and the hauntedness of it. But that sounds like a super cool place that I've never heard of. Daniel's like, everything is 30 miles from me. Oh, Water Dragon. I think I saw the Scooby Doo one. I watched it because it was a Scooby Doo one. I did see Supernatural. I because I know they had a Scooby Doo episode. That's right. And I specifically watched that one because I love Scooby Doo. Rochelle's asking, what do you all think about that Carly Russell faking it? I don't talk much about true crime over here, but I feel like she just made a fool of herself in front of a gazillion people. Like she made the news and made a full of herself. I would be embarrassed if that was me. I don't know about you guys. I would be so embarrassed. I mean, I would never do anything like that to begin with because come on. Heather Whatever saying agreed. It looks really bad. It looks bad. It just does not. Rochelle saying you all think she should be charged. I think she should because she wasted. I mean, obviously, when someone ends up missing, she wasted everybody's time. That's what my thing is. She wasted everybody's time. You know, there's people that put their heart into what they do. And especially with someone that's missing, they want to help find that missing person for their loved ones. And she wasted their time. And it just was like Susan saying she wanted attention, sad. Selena saying, I know if her name ever comes up again in some kind of crime or anything, I won't feel sorry for her again. Rochelle saying, I do too, because she's not even claiming a mental issue. I mean, I said what? They said like her internet search kind of like she searched what? Taken or something like that. So Jin's like absolutely charged, jail time, probation. Water Dragon, it's concerning. She's trying to be a nurse. That includes trust and security. Probably not now. I read somewhere that she was going to a concert or something on my Discord. I forgot to post that I was going to stream. I'll post it after the stream. Oh, I can still post because I usually post the link to my stream and I forgot to this time. Oh my gosh, I am so bad today. On the Facebook group. I still can. I'll just be like a little late. Oops. Because I know some people don't get notifications, so I try to I like to post it. Chris is saying, I think there's a lot of haunted stuff here in Ohio, but none of my friends are in it. Oh, that sucks. Because you don't want to go by yourself. Like, I wouldn't want to go by myself. I mean, it's funner when you go with your friends. That kind of sucks that none of them are interested. Panda saying, yeah, she also got fired from her job. I agree, Water Dragon. If she gets a fine, the rents will pay it so she learns nothing. She needs jail time and community service. I totally agree. Rochelle said, I definitely look forward to your stream. Thank you, Rochelle. Selena saying she won't learn anything at all. She's too spoiled. Oh, wait a minute. I know I heard something. I'm trying to make sure I don't miss any of you. I did, but it's not popping up here. It's making me log in to see it. Panda Bear saying way too spoiled. Thank you, Heather, whatever. For your PayPal. Good show. Hearts for Heather, whatever. Sorry I had to log in to see it. But thank you, Heather, whatever. Heather, whatever, saying she did come in. Look at my cute selfie in jail. Bernadette saying we need to go and do a haunted stream together, especially after the spirit. Definitely, we need to go to a haunted location and do that. Like a known haunted location. And live stream it. For sure, Bernadette. Daniel saying if we're going to talk about her, as I've said before, this will make other people think it's okay to do what she did. If she gets if they don't charge her and then just slap her on the wrist, yeah. I don't think she's taken what she did seriously. Yes, I did, Susan. I read about it already. The article, I mean, it was a decent sized article, but I read through it already, Susan. So I mean, it's like people. I just feel like I was saying, she wasted everybody's time. She wasted everybody's time. She People were worried about her. People that didn't even know about her worried about her, and I feel like she and I agree with what some of you are saying. Like her mugshot doesn't look like she's. And I don't really like. I follow it, but I don't follow it probably as like most of you guys do. But I saw the mugshot and I feel like she's not taking it seriously. Like it's like, oh yeah, I did it, whatever type of thing. Susan's asking any more haunted houses tonight. I do still have some more, a little bit of the Cornwall that I was gonna, another article that I was gonna share. And I'll share it in, or the Jamaica Inn. I said Cornwall. It's in Cornwall. Of the Jamaica Inn, which I'll share in a minute, Susan. Nerd Report saying she's a crook. Bernadette saying, hopefully you can come out to Colorado one day. There's many haunted places out here I'll take you to. Definitely, Bernadette, you know I want to go to Colorado because I want to hike in Colorado. So definitely. But I want to mark off my hiking and then we'll do. But definitely, I've never been to Colorado, so I've always seen it in pictures. So it'd definitely be cool. Rochelle says she needs to do. I agree. They need to put her in the with some of the bad. Pardon my friend. With some of the bad women prisoners that they have, and they need to put her in with them, and she will definitely learn her lesson. Daniel Miza said, when you look up 299 story, also look up Trinity County, California. Ooh, let me write that one down. I will. Trinity, on my little notes that I have here. If I can type Trinity. I definitely will, Daniel. Because it's different part of California. Deadwood Mine. Selena saying go hiking at Garden of the Gods in Colorado. It's beautiful out there. Rochelle's like, Colorado, yes. Jen saying it's nice out here in Colorado. Chris is saying very entitled young woman. I hope she does. I was hoping too, because I was like, when they didn't mention that they were press, I mean, they finally mentioned it, but they didn't mention it right away. I was like, they need to do something because she wasted everybody's time. And she got compassion from people that didn't even know her, and then it's like slapping them in the slap. She just slapped everybody in the face, basically. Wendy saying we just got a break in the temp here in Tennessee. I think we're gonna get a break here in Southern California next week, starting Tuesday. I saw like the temps were gonna be in the upper 80s, but I don't know if there's gonna be humidity encased with that. Bernadette's like, yes, I know you want to hike. I'll hike just for you, Lisa. Oh no, Jen's going back to the heat in Phoenix on Monday. I heard that the cactuses are even like falling over because of the heat. Because they've had 30 days of 110 plus temperatures. I think that, and it said last year they had 53 days, and they've had no monsoonal rains or anything. So the cactuses are like toppling over. Water Dragon saying, have others noticed the weather and weird stuff happening this year more than ever, like tornadoes when they've never been, etc. We're having some weird weather. Tyran is saying, I wish we were in the 80s here in Roswell. We're still 105. I agree, Rochelle. Luckily, I'm just running fans right now. Yesterday it wasn't that bad. It was actually a little cooler. Today was a little bit warmer. So I'm hoping, I heard tomorrow's going to be a little bit cooler. So hopefully we get a break. Jen saying rattlesnakes are everywhere in my neighborhood. No rain for a long while. I'm pretty sure we have some here too. Heather Wetter saying people steal the saguaro cactuses. I thought it was going to be cooler today, but the clouds rolled in. So it's like, oh. Susan's asking, am I going to do a report on the UFO sightings? I can, Susan. I'm not much of a UFO. I'm more into the paranormal than I am with UFOs. I'm more of a believer in the paranormal, but I do every once in a while I add UFOs because I do believe in life on other planets. I'm just not like a big, like, I believe more in ghosts than I do aliens, though I do like aliens, which I don't know if that makes sense, but I do add a little bit UFOs here and there. But I'm more passionate about paranormal subjects. Panda Bear, I agree with you. I hate the heat. I prefer, I could take it for 1 or 2 days, and then after that I'm like, I'm done. I can't take this anymore. Susan saying there was a government report yesterday. I will check that out. Daniel saying it's easier to believe in ghosts. That's probably why I'm more passionate. Kimberly Martin saying crazy weather in Oklahoma has well been 100 plus temps. Wow. Shamanistic unicorn Tam. It's like going, wait a second, where's my drink? I gotta keep hydrated. Julius is saying it's easier to believe in ghosts than aliens. Yes, it is. Bernadette saying what we do in the shadows was funny when they are vampires and fought werewolves but don't believe in ghosts. Rochelle saying, "Oh, there has to be life on other planets without a doubt. A doubt quite certain the elites already know truth about." I'm sure. Teresa's actually gonna get a cup of coffee. I've been doing iced coffee lately because it's too hot for coffee. So I've been making myself iced coffee. Daniel saying it's got to be haunted on the moon road trip, anyone? Heck, we might find the existence of extraterrestrials and we will become a believer. And then we could say, after all the evidence, after everything we've seen, Scully, why don't you believe? Sorry, I had to use that line from the X Files. Forgot what episode that's from, but I always use that line. Daniel's saying if we have paranormal on Earth, there's got to be paranormal everywhere. I agree. I mean, there's probably paranormal alien ghosts. Because, I mean, we have people. Just imagine life on other planets. They probably experience similar things. Water Dragons going, Lisa quoting Mulder and Scully never needs an apology. They know things. Bernadette says, I'll date a Johnny Depp lookalike alien. Daniel goes, the supposed time travelers for sure. All right, guys, I am going to show you this one. I was going to read the article, but I'm going to show you. I guess there's a video in the Jamaica Inn, and I'll show you real quick. Let me see if I let me stop this. That I wanted to share real quick. Is it this one? It's this one. Let's see if I click here. There's music. So I guess this is the pub. And you can't see it, but his beer slid off the table. It's like, what the? He's like, I swear I didn't touch it. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think it was, you know how sometimes a glass has condensation and then when it sits on the table it moves? So do you think it's that, or do you think something paranormal actually pushed his beer glass off the table? Alice! Julius is like, I feel like I've seen this one before. I know I showed one, but it wasn't here. It was at another haunted pub. Rochelle says, I don't think that's paranormal, but it's interesting. Because I was thinking, because you know how when you set a glass down and it gets all the condensation and it starts moving off the table. Plus, he had it super close to the edge of the table. Like, come on, you're asking for disaster. Because I was thinking Julissa the same thing, and I go, wait a minute, no, this was a different pub. Susan saying, I think he was drunk. Christy saying, yes, placement of the glass too, but I think it was pushed off. Daniel Miles says, I missed it, but anytime there's a glass slipping on a wet surface, there's only one answer that everybody gives. Brandon saying the glass was drunk. Bernadette saying it could be the water from the bottom of the glass. That's what I was thinking. Heather, whatever, saying like a cat sneaks up and knocks it off. They're going. Shamanistic Unicorn Town says it feels staged. Heather, whatever, goes zoom in, little tiger paw, giggling kitty underneath the table. I like that one. Water Dragon goes, I vote for the cat. Julissa goes, it was American Ghost. They don't like warm beer. Daniel goes, yeah, I think you played a video where there's a black cat and you couldn't even see the cat. I think I did. I think I played a video where it looked like an animal. Ozzy saying it's a cat ghost. Susan saying it looks fake. Well, too, like I was saying, the guy put it on the edge of the table. That was the first thing I looked at. I go, why would you have your beer so close to the edge of the table? Well, like, even if it was a ghost, he was asking for it. His friend wasn't anywhere near it, but you know what I mean? He was asking for it. It was like literally on the edge of the table. Like, who puts their glass on the edge of the table like that? I always push it back. And then he's like, Nerd Report gifted 5 memberships. Hearts for Nerd Report. Welcome, Tyrana, Spirit of the Trees, Marciana, Bia, and Marge Rodriguez to the Wolf Pack. And it's actually a video that the Inn put out. It's like their actual video. And they already promote that they have ghosts, so that could be part of their promotion. Water Dragon's going, "Awoo!" And the guy got all mad too. He was like, you could see his body language. That's the funny thing. He's like, what's up, bro? Like, what? Like, he probably thought his friend did it. Rochelle says never watched it, but to my understanding, that Barbie movie's as scary as I anticipated. I haven't watched it either, but I've heard stories about it. I mean, if it goes to streaming, I'll watch it. Water Dragon says, I heard Barbie had an existential crisis. The problem is people went to see it too. I was like, Nothing wrong. I mean, nothing wrong if you wanted to see it. Ozzy's like, I will not watch it. Ozzy's like, I don't care if it's free. I may take a gander, but I don't know. Oh, Rochelle, oh my gosh. They decided to pull a prank, and her friend gave me his phone number. When he walked away to go put some money in the jukebox, I had texted him something about how I see him and I've been watching him all night. Oh yeah, Rochelle, that's crazy. Rochelle goes, some random person's been texting for about several minutes and he couldn't figure out who he was. He was getting all freaked out when she started laughing. That's crazy. Chris is saying the Barbie movie had ruined Barbie's legacy. I don't know because I didn't watch it. Bernadette saying if Barbie turned into Harley Quinn, then maybe I'll watch it. Yes. That's probably when I would have watched it. It's too much pink for me. That's a that would be Wednesday Adams horror film that she's scared of. Water Dragon agrees Barbie morphing into Harley Quinn would be cool for sure. It's like too much pink. I'm not a fan of pink, as you can tell. Yeah. I am not a fan of pink at all. I mean, yeah, I got some pink guys there, but that's part of their outfits. Heather, whatever, saying Wednesday wouldn't put up with that. Or that's what I was saying. It'd be a horror film for her, as me. Rochelle said, "I heard the Barbie movie made 80 mil. I don't know how. I know it made quite a few. Like it made money. Like a lot of people went to see. They probably went to see it just to see what the hype was, and then probably a lot of people who were fan of Barbie went to see. I even saw like horror people going to watch it. I was like, and I made a comment saying that is definitely a horror movie. Yes, water dragons. They're the little soldiers from Squid Game. Bernadette. Black and pink aren't bad because I've seen black and pink and I've actually not. It's not too bad. Not my favorite colors, but black and pink I can take. I just can't take pink everywhere. I'm more of a red and black. Julissa, you gotta check. If you do watch Squid Game, guys, don't watch it with the subtitles. Don't watch it with the English dub because the voices do not go. I don't know what happened. Like Lewis accidentally had it on there and I was just laughing. The voices do not go with the actors. It's better to read and hear. I mean, I like to hear the Korean because it reminds me of my mom, but it's honestly better to hear it that way, hear the actual actor's voice and read the subtitles. Heather Whatever said, my youngest kid got me a San Francisco Barbie a few years ago. Their older brother got me one this year, not knowing it has Barbie coming out of a Seas can. Oh, that is cool. Actually, that's cool. Definitely, Julia said, you got to be in a mood to read subtitles, but it's better. It's way better. You'll be laughing if you hear the voices coming out of the actors. I didn't even know that was an option. Chris says, I like pink, but I'm definitely ain't a girly girl. Nothing wrong with liking pink. I just personally don't like it. Teresa watched Squid Game and thought it was okay. I didn't get the hype. I liked it. I was wondering what the hype was, and then I watched it and I was like, you know what? It's not that bad. Well, I liked it. I guess it's to each his own. I the first Bernadette saying she watched both versions of Squid Game. One of them, you're like, oh my god, you're taking it so seriously, and then the second version with the dubbed English, you're like, I just started laughing. I mean, it's not even like the old kung fu movies where they go, so what is that? Where, like where you still see them talking. It's not even like that. Like, at least those voices went kind of with the actors. Spirit of the Trees liked Squid Game. Thank you, Wendy. All right, guys, I'm going to open it up for questions. If you guys have any questions, Tyrana has never seen it. Bernadette. Chris is like, I'm a true horror fan. The bloodier, the better. I am that way too. Rochelle saying, hands down, I absolutely love Squid Game. I watched the series twice. I think I only watched it once. Can't wait for the second one. Water Dragon, I'm the same way. I rather read, I prefer listening to the language, even though I don't know what they're saying, and then reading it. Than the old kung fu movies, as I put it. I know, I remember when I was a kid and I'd watch those old kung fu, it would drive me nuts. Now, not so much. Like now, like it doesn't bother me as much, but the way they do it now is like the voice, like I was saying, the voices don't even match. Susan's asking, what is my favorite scary movie? I have so many. My favorites, I love Jason, Friday the 13th, Hellraiser, Art the Clown, um, like Ghostface. I wasn't a fan of Ghostface until recently. I don't know what happened. I just became a fan, like I became obsessed with Now I'm obsessed with Art the Clown. um, Evil Dead, same thing. I didn't like Evil Dead as a kid, and then ended up liking it. Bernadette saying, I can't wait for the last season of Cobra Kai. It's gonna be super delayed. They haven't even started writing. I saw an article where because of the writer strike, they didn't even start writing, and now there's the actor strike, so it's gonna be delayed, Bernadette. And I kind of got sad because I'm looking forward to it. Chris, you have to check it out. It's a Korean. It's in Korean, so definitely you have to be in a mood for subtitles. I do like Saw. I love the Jigsaw Killer, and if you love bloody movies, Saw is definitely a bloody one. Allison saying Bruce Campbell somehow will always be hot. Teresa saying Incantation on Netflix. I'll have to check that out. I don't think I've heard of that one. Rochelle saying I love what I don't want to sound. It's gonna come out. Creek. I've heard of it, but I've never watched it. Susan Rick saying John Woo with Chow Yun Fat for sure. Definitely. I love martial arts movies. Didn't too much as a kid, but now I kind of appreciate them more. Chris is saying I haven't really watched subtitled movies since Old Godzilla. Wow. I like Asian horror, so I'm always watching or Spanish horror. I like there's some great Spanish horror films too as well that I've seen. But I have to be in the mood to read subtitles when watching it. And sometimes I'm not. So I'm like, oh, I won't watch that one today. I'll pick another day. Bernadette saying I heard Jason Momoa was supposed to do the new Crow. I hope not. Hell no. Jason Momoa is too big to be the Crow. Like muscle wise. No. I couldn't see him as the Crow. He's too bulky. Yes, Tyrana, there is. It's coming out. I believe a new Saw movie. It's coming out. I believe in September. They actually pushed it up the end of September. I think. Don't quote me. It's Saw 10. It takes place, if I'm not mistaken, between the first Saw and the second Saw. If I'm not mistaken, that's what I heard. I don't know if that's what. Susan asking if I like Bruce Lee films, and I didn't watch them. I'm more when I grew up, I kind of saw more like Chuck Norris. I grew up more with Chuck Norris and trying to think of who else. Jackie Chan, I kind of watched a little bit. Jet Li, but mostly I remember when I was like really young, it was Chuck Norris. Matthew saying new Scream Factory releases for October: The Blob remake 4K, Pumpkinhead 4K, Night of the Demon 4K, Demons 4K, Night of the Demons 2. I have to see Night of the Demons. And Night of the Demons 3 Blu-ray Collector's Edition. That sounds cool. They're coming out too. I saw it, but I'm trying to figure out what's in it. It's a Hellraiser like a collector thing. But they didn't explain it. They just showed like the cover of it with the Chatterer on it. And I'm trying to go, what movies? I think it's Bloodline. Like they have I know Bloodline's on it, and it's like a like like they redid it or something. The fourth Hellraiser for you guys who are not familiar with Hellraiser. Heather, whatever saying it's time for a Blob remake. Yes, they should make one. I think it's they had a Blob. I remember that Blob that used to scare the crap out of me. Like it came out when in the 80s. I remember that one. That would scare the crap out of me. I bet you now when I watch, I'll be like, that scared the crap out of me. Because I literally have not seen the Blob since I was a kid. Christy Fox says I rewatched Children of the Corn the other night. I still like it. You know they came out, Christy. I think this year they came out with another Children of the Corn, but I don't even know if it's on streaming. And but there is a newer Children of the Corn that came out this year, And I'm wondering, now that I come to think of it, I'm wondering if it's on streaming. I'll check it out. I mean, the trailer didn't grab me to it, so I never was interested in watching it. But if it's on streaming, I'll check it out. But I do love Children of the Corn. That's probably one of my favorite movies as well. Chris is asking, did you see the original Blob? No. I have not seen the original Blob. I think not. I've seen bits and pieces of it, but not like actual sat down and. Selena said, I met Chuck Norris when I was 14 during a sparring match. He gave me advice to beat the guy I was fighting against. That is super cool. Jen saying, my husband keeps trying to get me to watch The Strangers and I refuse. I don't like that movie too much, to be honest with you. Rochelle's asking, is my phone ringing? Nope. Bernadette. But I grew up with Chuck Norris with his what oh, I can't even remember the movies he was in because I haven't seen, because he was always in those military movies, and that's the type of movies my dad would always watch. I can't even remember the name of it. Now it's gonna kill me. That's gonna kill me. And then I like Jean Claude Van Damme, of course. I have Bloodsport behind me that you guys can't see because the camera is kind of covering it. Missing in Action. Thank you, Teresa. Missing in Action. Thank you. And thank you, Chris. Daniel is like, I was trained by somebody who was trained by Chuck Norris. That is super cool. I know there was a London Comic-Con recently. And because I was like, why can't we have a Comic-Con like this? They had Chuck Norris was there. They had my favorite martial artist, Scott Atkins. They had Cynthia Rothrock. She was there. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the martial artist, but in the movies, and they all took pictures together. And I was like, why can't we have a Comic Con like that? That is super cool. Susan Wright Lewis loves Kill Bill. Alice, my dad would watch Charles Bronson too. I grew up on him. Thank you, Spirit of the Trees. Chris is saying my mom had the hots for Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris still looks great for his age. He does. Rochelle saying, here's an interesting fact I learned in an interview. I was watching like a really old interview on Jessica Simpson. Says going down that rabbit hole, they couldn't believe how she was treated so bad. Then I learned that she actually was taught acting from Chuck Norris. Yes, I know, Teresa. Teresa saying with Children of the Corn, Linda Hamilton was in there. And she was Sarah Connor in The Terminator. I did not know that, Rochelle. That is super cool. He was actually her acting coach at the age of 6. That is crazy. No, I never actually read any of her books, which is weird. You would think I would because I like vampires, but I just never I never did. Susan saying I had the hots for Chow Yun Fat. Teresa, I know. I remember I used to watch that show, the Beauty and the Beast show. I'm aging myself. Yes, he was in Texas Ranger. I didn't really watch that, but he was in that. Selena was as saying, has anyone heard of Demetrius the Greek Havanas? He was my trainer. No. Oh, dude. Sarah Connor was so cool. I always like the part, I don't know which one. I think it was in 2 where she's like doing pull-ups and you could see her massive guns. I was like, I was like, I want guns like she has. You know, like her massive. I mean, not that. No, I wasn't talking about her muscles. Scratch that, YouTube. I was talking about muscles. It was muscles. Water Dragon. I want to see that movie, Voyage of the Dementor. Scott Atkins was actually in the second Expendables, I think. He played the Russian dude. And I used to like, what's his face? I can't think of his name. Jason Statham. I used to like him, and then I saw Scott Atkins, and I was like, oh hell no, Scott Atkins. It was muscles. It was muscles I was talking about. No, I remember that scene. Like when I first saw Sarah Connor she doing pull ups. I was like, she was ripped. Susan Reich saying Jet Li is awesome, but he's not. Say, yeah, but he's awesome. Alice likes the Rush Hour movies. Those are hilarious. Oh, Rochelle, I remember seeing something like that, but I'm not sure. I don't remember which movie it was. Brandon was saying that's when they had, yes. Heather Wetter saying she was ripped. Yeah, I remember. I was like, I want arms like her one day. Yes, Daniel saying just like Sigourney Weaver and Aliens. I go, exactly. And movies where they didn't point out, because now you notice how with the movies they have to point out um strong female characters when you don't need, like they make a point to point it out. Back then they didn't, and they had the best strong female characters without even pointing it out. So one day I'll be ripped like Sigourney Weaver and from Aliens and Sarah Connor. Christy Fox says, yes, I agree with you. So true. Heather, whatever, saying exactly. That's right. Yeah, they didn't. I feel like now it kind of, I mean, I feel like it kind of cheapens it in a way because now they have to point it out. It's like, dude, we already know. Like, why? Thank you, Shiloh Toto. Water Dragon going back when actors were actors and not a gender or color. Exactly. Susan Reich is saying Michelle Yeoh is amazing. Do you guys realize she was engaged for 19 years and she tied the knot That is I think it was yesterday. I think it was it yesterday? It was yesterday, I think. She was engaged for 19 years and they tied the knots. But she is amazing too. Whenever I see Michelle Yeoh in anything, I'm like, wow. Heather, whatever saying they messed up the fantasy of a good movie, well written, no baloney and weird. Exactly. Bernadette. I know that's Julissa. That's what I was thinking. Wow, that's a long engagement. Right when I was exactly what you guys are saying. I was like, wow. The 19-year engagement. That is crazy. Pretty cool at the same time, too. Susan saying she won the Oscar this year. Yes, she did. I would think, Rochelle, that gum chewers have stronger jaws. Because come on, you're chewing gum. Selena saying, and I thought my husband and I were engaged a long time with 5 years. Yes, Water Dragon, it was that everything movie. Susan Reich saying longer than most. Exactly. That's why I'm like, it's wow. Thank you, Jen. It's the everything all at once movie or something like that. I didn't watch that movie. I didn't. But I do like Michelle Yeoh. She's so elegant. Susan, I actually watched Crazy Rich Asians and I actually did not mind it. I was surprised that I actually liked it. I did like that movie. The everything with the all at once movie, I have not watched it. All right, guys, any last minute questions? Water Dragon saying Crazy Rich Asians was really good. I watched half of everything movie. Too weird. I didn't see that movie. I wasn't. I don't know. Like it looked weird to me, so I wasn't really. Yeah, I wasn't drawn to it. So I was like, Teresa's asking if I play Pokemon Go. I did a long time ago when it first came out, and then I just stopped. Daniel saying, did I see the picture I put on your Facebook? I did. It was another beautiful picture. Like, Daniel, you live in a beautiful area. Thank you, Christy, for the super sticker. It's a corgi with a heart. Hearts for Christy, guys. Thank you, Christy. Selena's asking, have I played Random Nautica? Rando Nautica? No, I haven't. Susan, I do not like Aquafina. I'm probably the only one on the planet that doesn't, but I don't like her. I just don't. I don't know. It's just something. I just don't like her. I think there was one movie that I saw her in that I did like, and it was like a serious role. Bernadette, I'm probably not gonna check out. I'm not much of a yeah. I didn't really watch the animated Little Mermaid, so I'm probably not gonna watch the live action Little Mermaid. I don't know. Susan, I just do not like. I don't know. I just don't like her. There's no right. I can't explain it. I forgot what movie she was in, and I actually did like that movie. Well, she was in Crazy Rich Asians. The Farewell. That's the movie I saw. It's like she was a serious in that one. Maybe that's because she's not serious. Maybe it's her voice too. Water Dragon is like, it's all good. Lisa, I don't like Ben Affleck. So yeah, to each his own. Yes, The Farewell was good, Water Dragon. I do recommend that one. And Crazy Rich Asians is good too. I like that one. All right, guys, I am going to end the stream here. I will see you guys on the next one, which will be Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Be there or be squared and stay spooky. And thank you for joining me on your Saturday night. You guys are awesome. Thank you for everyone who gifted, who super chatted, who PayPal'd, and who gifted memberships. And guys, have a good night. And again, stay spooky.